Welcome to the Whiskey and Whitetails podcast, the podcast for those who hunt with a passion and drink with a purpose. We're your hosts, Gus.
I'm Matt.
As always, thanks to our Patreon for their loyal support. Thanks to the Waypoint Network for having us, and thank you for listening, subscribing, liking, commenting, all that fun stuff. This week, we're talking a little bit about the fascinating life of a turkey, how wild pig fertility is crushing whitetail, and of course, sipping on some good whiskey. So stick around.
Do it. All right, welcome to the show. So, background today is Staves.
Staves.
I'm sipping on a Forsberg's Buffalo Trace Select.
I pulled out some good stuff today.
Oh yeah, nice. I went cheap. You went nice.
Birthday bourbon.
Today's Caleb Gibson's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Caleb.
Not today, Monday. Today, Thursday.
Oh, yeah. When we're recording, if you see me randomly swat at the air like a cat, there's a fruit fly that made its way into my office, and
it is fruit fly season.
Dude, I don't know why it's so bad, but like it doesn't matter how much we clean and scrub, they just find their way in the house.
Yep, that's the thing. We were at Felix, the bar downtown. There's fruit flies everywhere, and like the fancy people were like, I was like, "Welcome to Charleston in June."
Yeah, welcome to the Low Country. Not from here.
Yeah, see that box of limes right there? There's 5,000 fruit flies in it, and they're getting around.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do? I'm wearing my Andrew Beam hoodie.
Nice. Migra hat.
Yeah, Migra hat.
Very good. I'm rocking the River Brothers hat.
Hell yeah.
So shout outs to all them folks for their support.
If you're in the need for a good shotgun load, Migra is a Charleston company, and they make some good stuff. You can get it at stores, I guess. I don't know where you can get it.
I don't know the distribution details, but you guys went and shot them. There's a YouTube video, you guys doing that, and you said they shot good, right?
Yeah, shot good. Like 60 yards, they were still shooting good. Nice. Good pattern. Those turkey loads aren't available yet, but they have regular duck loads that are supposed to be
solid.
Crazy.
I imagine a turkey load would be pretty solid for like a combat shotgun. If you wanted a shotgun that could be effective to 40 yards or so.
Yeah.
Around a property.
Be careful with the TSS.
Oh.
Is that what they're called?
I have no idea.
The big powerful turkey loads. Yeah, TSS is right.
Oh, there's a bunch of them out there. Yeah,
those are gross.
I don't know. Yeah, no, they kick like a rented mule.
Yeah, they hurt pretty bad.
So, fun story. I actually traumatized my oldest son. I took him out to turkey hunt. He was about 10, and should have given him a 20 gauge to shoot with, and didn't have one. So I let him shoot my 12 gauge with a turkey load so that he could see what it was like. And needless to say, he was not interested in shooting a turkey that year after he shot that shotgun.
I imagine.
I felt really bad because it actually made him gun shy. That term gets used a lot, but it made him very shy to shoot guns, and it took some time easing him into it. I got him comfortable with a pistol, and it wasn't until I convinced him to shoot an AR, chambered in 5.56, and he realized that it's just, I mean, it barely kicks at all, and he went down emptying mag after mag. I eventually I was like, hey, bud, we only have so much of that. Let's it's not, at the time it was not cheap, so
it's still not cheap. I have all the stuff I bought from Texas. It's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, how old is that? That's 2012 that I bought this stuff, and I've still got it.
Yeah.
I
think we split that, or we split something at one point. We went halves on a big order because I still have all that too.
We bought it. It's funny. We bought it from a guy. I don't remember where I found it. Maybe Arms List, but I met him at Walmart here on Folly Road.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So every time I drive by that Walmart, I think about buying 5.56 in there.
Yeah, I've sold and bought some things on Arms List, and it's never not been kind of shady.
So I had, for those that aren't from South Carolina, the gun laws here are just like anywhere else, but they're we don't have waiting periods, but the secondary, like, so if I were to sell Gus a gun, there's literally nothing involved. It's just, are you 21 and up? Are you a South Carolina resident? Give me the money. Here's the gun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
usually I'll do like a bill of sale.
Yeah.
But I met a guy at Field and Streams or whatever it's called now, and Sportsman's Warehouse, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I'm from Michigan, and I'm driving home, and I wanted to have a gun with me for the trip." He's like, "So," and I was selling that Micro 9.
Oh yeah.
He's like, "And it's crazy. If I were to buy a gun in Michigan, it's like a 30-day waiting period, but all this stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, you sound like a cop." Like, what are you asking about here? I was like, can you not buy a gun or whatever?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"No, that's not the problem." I was like, "Okay, well, show me your driver's license." So he showed me his driver's license. I handed him the gun. He handed me, $700 or whatever it was.
Right.
And he was like, "It's just crazy to me that you can get a gun that easy." I was like, "Well, I think it's supposed to be that easy."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get I get the reservation, but also, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, since we were talking about turkey, I figured we could hop into this. So I've watched this twice now, and so the
Okay.
trailer is a minute 32 long, and we're gonna watch the whole trailer. So for those just on listening, it's called "My Life as a Turkey," and the guy is wild. So it's I don't know how much I've never seen the trailer. I've watched the whole thing twice. It's about an hour long. But basically, this guy got these 16 turkey eggs delivered to him, and he raised these turkeys. So he learned that, like, when they're in the egg, you have to kind of like talk to them. So
Okay.
you call to them. So he learned like the mother call and does the mother call while they're in the egg. And he's like, I can hear them chirping inside
What?
the eggs. And so when they were born, they're like peeling out of the eggs, and he does this mother call, and they imprint on him and see him
What?
as mama.
That's crazy.
So he lives with these turkey for over a year. No other humans come in contact. He never leaves them, sleeps with them in the roost, like everything. He was telling a story about one time when he left just to get a sandwich and something tragic happened. I'm not going to ruin the movie, but or the show, or it's an hour long. I guess it's a movie, but it is by far the wildest thing I've ever seen. But he identifies 30 different noises they make
Oh
and like
god.
learning all this stuff. So
I thought
you
you were
should definitely go watch it.
I thought you were about to say he identifies as a turkey now.
So I will give this one spoiler alert. So he's like halfway through the show, he's like he talks about they have a sound they make when they go hunting for grasshoppers, and
Mhm.
he's like, "There's just something in you that just grabs you." He's like, "I go and look for these grasshoppers with him." He's like, "I'm not eating them, obviously, but I feel, day in and day out, 6 months in, like I'm part of this tribe and this is what we do." And he's like, "The green ones are starting to look kinda good." And then later on in the show, he's eating grasshoppers with these turkeys.
That's
It's
funny.
funny. So I'll play the trailer because it's worth watching. So it's called My Life as a Turkey.
Day after day, for over a year, I saw no one except my family. It was a family like none that you know. But I'm a mother, it seems, and these are my children. And soon enough, like all children, they'll leave home, and I suppose my heart will be broken. But for now, this is my life as a turkey. My name is Joe Hutto. Some years ago now, I spent 18 months raising some wild turkeys from the egg. And spending all this time alone with a bunch of birds may appear close to insanity to you, but you don't know turkeys like I do. No one has been this close to wild turkeys before, and maybe no one ever will again. What happened between me and these birds was, in fact, legitimate science. But it's also true this experiment of mine left science far behind. At the time, I had no idea of the extent to which I would actually have to become a wild turkey.
Isn't that wild?
Dude, that is wild.
He it's so crazy. So he has another one on mule deer. He spent like 2 years with mule deer.
So this is a thing he does.
Yeah, it's a thing he does. He's a wildlife photographer, conservative kind of person.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's cool. At least he's choosing animals that aren't going to kill him.
Well, it's funny. I won't tell you how it ends, but it gets pretty gnarly.
Huh.
I mean, they're wild animals, and eventually they realize you're not
You're not the same.
a turkey. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I learned a lot about turkeys in there, and he's talking about how they have like feelings, like when one is lost, or
Yeah.
dies or whatever. Like they don't understand like loss, but he said that they sit there and they look at it like what, like trying to understand why is it not here anymore. I don't get it.
Mhm.
And it like really, I don't know, it's crazy. It's like it's really interesting to watch. I recommend anybody watch it. I said in
Yeah.
the Discord, but I don't know that anybody watched in the Discord.
Yeah, I have to check it out. I bet the kids would like it. It sounds seems interesting. Did you see anything or learn anything that would help you maybe be a better turkey hunter?
Yeah, because he talks about some of the calls that they have. Like they have calls that are like "shut up, don't make any noise," and he's like, so they'll like kind of freeze, and then they have different sounds for like it's like I'm lost. So you do like the lost call, and they'll come
Yeah,
looking for you because you're lost,
yeah,
and so things like that. Like you kind of learn how they operate and what they do, and they're just curious. But one of the things that he harps on is they are they like memorize the woods. And so, like, he's talking about trees that were cut down 20 years ago, and these turkeys will still walk up to this tree. You know, they've never seen it before, but they walk up to it and they're like, "This is weird. There's something wrong with this." And they're curious and kind of
yeah.
so it's like they definitely pay attention to their surroundings. So if something's out of place, that they're going to pick up on it.
Interesting. Yeah, I know that they're social creatures, and I know that they communicate a lot. Verbally, obviously. And I've learned some of those because we hunt in South Carolina. We hunt in the spring, but and so we learn those calls that are important during that time of year. The yelps.
Yeah,
Uh, Obviously it gobbles, but yeah, your yelps, your clucks, and your purrs. But like if you live in a state where you can hunt turkey in the spring, there are several other calls that are encouraged or recommended to use for different social situations because the whole gobbling and that whole mating dynamic is not happening at that time of year.
right.
So like kiki runs and I think they call them what do they call them? Like putts or something like that. Yeah, there's all kinds of. You said that he documented 30 something of them. Is that what you said?
So yeah, he said that he has 30 that he realized there's 30 different.
Damn.
This was like 6 months in that
Wow.
he's picked up on 30 different vocalizations that they do that all mean something different. It's wild, and, like,
Crazy.
showing them at 10 days old strutting, like, one of them, just, like, at 10 days old, he was strutting, and it's the cutest thing. They I don't know how they did it because I think the story is old, so I don't know if he did it again. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
that's
he
why
filmed
because
the whole
you.
thing.
Well, then that's what I was getting ready to say because you said he didn't come in, and they didn't come in contact with any other humans. He obviously wasn't filming all of that by himself. I didn't see, or maybe he was.
I don't know how he did it, to be honest with you. It's filmed really well. I mean, you can see these little turkeys running around from hatching up to a year and a half when,
Yeah,
they kinda became adults and moved on with their lives, but it's some fascinating stuff. It's wild. It's way better than the mule deer one, but the mule deer is fascinating seeing this dude pet, and he's talking about the different personalities that they all have and they all look
mhm,
different. And he's like, I could tell them apart and they all, behave in a certain way. It's just, it's such a crazy,
yeah,
crazy thing.
it is wild. Turkeys are fascinating. It's I think it was Thomas Jefferson or Benjamin Franklin wanted it to be like our national bird
Hmm.
because of how like intelligent and they are. But yeah, they're fucking wild animals, man. You're wild. So, I wanna ask a lot of questions, but I don't wanna ruin it for people who wanna go watch it, so I'm gonna stop, but
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
so many questions. I mean, I just got
I was gonna say, like, read his little bio. So he's a nationally recognized naturalist and wildlife artist. For 7 years, he lived with and studied a herd of mule deer in the Wind River Mountains and wrote "Touching the Wild" and experience. He has a study of wild sheep, a little in high places is what it's called. But yeah, I'm seeing turkey, the sheep, and then he has his book is called "The Illumination and the Flatwoods," and that's with the turkey.
okay.
But he's like, the turkey live every day. You know, today's all that matters is right now. And
Yeah.
he's like, it taught him a lot about life. So he was like, he felt like he was illuminated after living with them for a year and a half. Like,
Got it.
not to worry about tomorrow because turkeys don't. They just, you
Yeah.
know, not that we should all act like turkeys, but
No. But I mean, that is a lot of people who are big into meditation, that sort of thing. They talk about that being more present. You know, like
you're right.
anxiety is worrying about the future. Depression is being, you know, caught in the past, sort of thing. Try to live more in the present. But I'm
Mhm.
not sure. I'm not sure I'm up to hunting for grasshoppers.
Yeah.
That's
Some
not,
of it's wild how they filmed it too. I don't know how he did it, but it's definitely worth watching. 100%. And it's like beautiful filmography, everything's in focus. And I mean, it's a year and a half of footage in 1 hour. So I don't, you know,
yeah. I imagine whoever filmed it took a lot of time to do it right. The trailer was shot beautifully. So I'm sure like that deer that coming across that screen. I don't know how, like, they couldn't have timed that better.
and that's footage from the show.
Yeah.
Everything in that trailer is directly from the show. Like they just made the show and then they made the trailer out of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's
Pretty
check
crazy.
it out. That's awesome.
Speaking of
Well,
trailers,
say again.
no, we already talked about it. Never mind. I was gonna go see. Speaking of trailers, but we already did that.
Oh, they released a new one.
Did they?
Yeah, are you talking about for Righteous Gemstones?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a new one, and I'm in it for like a very split second. You can't see my face, but I know it's me.
Are you?
Because it was the only thing I did for that whole day for like 6 hours.
Dude, I feel
But
like we should watch it.
it's like 2 minutes long.
Do you want to watch it?
I don't care.
Okay. I want to watch it. I assume it's that one, the one I just clicked on and not. Yeah, this is a different one, so I haven't seen this one. So for those who don't know, Gus and I were extras in the HBO original show, The Righteous Gemstone season 3. They put out a bill for bearded men that know how to skin a deer and aren't afraid of guns. so many people sent it to us and was like, "That's y'all, go." So we went and we were part of the militia, and one of the trailers is out, and I'm in that one, and I guess Gus is in this one. So I'm excited. I haven't seen this one, so I'll watch it. Wow.
If it ain't the world famous gemstone family.
Since your daddy has taken a step back, there has been a decline in attendance.
Is this because of the goddamn shitty poll numbers?
85% said you're colder than an ice cube shoved up a polar bear's asshole.
I remember those same polls saying that your songs are when most people in church go to take a shit.
Prove it, Jesse.
It's time!
You fucking kids just
Figure out your lives.
You scared your kid's gonna blow it.
very much.
You so hell-bent on running this church the way your daddy did. Only problem is you ain't your fucking daddy.
One of our largest benefactors is departing. Our ministry was to receive over $200 million.
Huh?
It is very bad news.
I'm scared, Jesse. What if we don't have what it takes?
We just have to refuse to fail
How are we gonna do that?
together.
Do we have to include Judy?
Even that bitch.
These are the brothers of tomorrow's fires.
This is a militia.
Gemstones and Montgomery, oil and vinegar, fire and ice.
When the end of times come, I believe that these phony fakers will be called to the kingdom of heaven.
Well, there's a war coming. The Lord has picked how he'll use each of us. You know how he intends to use you?
Yeah, singing.
You have done preaching.
Youth ministry, probably.
Resurrection, boy. Restore the kingdom.
The road we have been traveling on has been bumpy as of late.
Somebody needs to make sure everything's going to turn out okay.
You get killed, I promise we will try to avenge you.
Take care of my wife and kids.
Say what?
What's that? Yeah, I feel like your kids are old enough.
I mean, it's a big ask. You know what I mean? We don't know what our schedules are.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't wait. So in one of the scenes when they're in the chow hall,
Yeah.
and they're talking, when he said, I can't remember what he said, but I'm in the background of that one.
Yeah, I remember you saying you got that was the day I think we got stuck sitting around waiting because they didn't know what they were gonna shoot next or if they needed more people. So we sat for like 3 hours
Yeah.
waiting for something, and then they let us go. But you got stuck there till like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night.
I was definitely there till dark. Yeah, they were filming that scene where they're in the chow hall like yelling at each other, but it was funny. So like we did it because we wanted to learn a lot about the videography side of it.
Yeah.
And you know, you don't realize it, but when they do these shoots, in order to get all the angles, they basically do it over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So they filmed it from behind each person's shoulder to get whoever they're filming to get their point of view for the whole scene. Then they went to the next guy, and then when they were done, they put a camera in the middle of the table, and the camera was like on a gyro thing, and it like spun around to each person. Like swipe. So they filmed it like 6 times, the exact same scene, and we just had to sit there and pretend to eat like this slop that was on the table. I ended up eating some of it.
The scene that I'm in briefly is outside, and it's an obstacle course for this militia. You know, they're training, you know, for whatever. And as he said, we were supposed to just be actively doing this training thing. Well, it was like in the middle of the day they started shooting this finally started shooting at like 9 or 10. And so until like from 10 to 4 and out in the heat and the sun, we were running this obstacle course. And the scene that they were capturing is a car driving up to the gate. And I don't know if you listen or know who Sturgill Simpson is. He's one of the 2 guards at that gate that you saw.
Yeah.
So when the camera's like behind his shoulder, and when the camera's when they're just showing the point of view of the vehicle, and then when the camera is over the shoulder of the driver or the driver's side passenger, we had to be running so it looked like the same stuff was going on all the time. And that took, I don't know, I probably ran that damn obstacle course like 40 times that day with all that shit on. I was hotter than hell, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We learned a lot about how this stuff works, and it's way more into. It's funny the amount of footage and film that goes into like that 2 minutes is wild.
Yes, for sure. They're so Discord's like chatting right now. I wonder if we can open group therapy.
I don't know.
Might try it.
Oh, it wants to switch audio devices. Oops. I wonder if everybody's hearing that noise.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear it.
And by the way, I realized like 17 minutes ago that about 8 minutes into the podcast, I had not hit record on the recorder. So hopefully the individual clips on through StreamYard are good.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm sure they will be. We haven't had a problem with it so far. Wonder if it'll work. I'll let it run there for a second, see if it works. Anyway, yeah, you had something for hog stuff that I was interested in.
Yeah, so we've talked about doing some hog hunting. So anytime I see something related to hogs, and especially in relation to whitetail, it always piques my interest. And every once in a while, I'll go to the National Deer Association website, and they have some folks that contribute to that website, some biologists and researchers. And one of the guys is Lindsey Thomas Jr. And I follow him on Twitter and have interacted with him a little bit. Smart guy, always has some really good information. But he wrote this article about how wild pig fertility, basically, and how it crushes deer. And what I mean by that is they reproduce basically so fast that they have the ability to really outpace the reproduction of whitetail and just overtake habitat. So I thought it was interesting. We can share the link on social media if anybody wants to read it. But I just wanted to read some of these facts that are listed in here and talk about them a little because they're fascinating and I had no idea. So I'll just 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 6 of them here. I'll read real quick. So wild pigs breed any time of year, all year, right? So whitetails only breed once. We pretty much know that. A female wild piglet can reach sexual maturity by as little as 3 months of age, given exceptional conditions and nutrition, though 5 to 6 months is typical under good conditions. And a female whitetail, only about 7 to 9 months old, if she hits a certain weight threshold, her first fall, but most don't breed until age 1.5. Wild piglets develop from embryos in 15 days. Fawns gestate for 200. Wild sows bear about 6 piglets per litter on average. with a range of 1 to 12. The average adult doe produces 1 to 2 fawns per birth, assuming that they're at their most mature age, or they're at mature age and have the best conditions. After giving birth, the sow can go into estrus again and become pregnant as little as 3 months, but obviously at an average of 5 to 6 months. So the average sow can produce 2 full litters in a year and a half, whereas a whitetail doe cannot exceed more than 1 litter per year. And then if a sow loses her litter to predators, she will compensate by going into estrus again in about 2 weeks. And whitetails don't possess that ability. So like wild pigs, like genetically, are just breeding machines.
Yeah.
It's wild. There's some research was done like just how young can a wild pig breed, and I won't go into all the details of who did the research and everything because the article is really worth reading. But they collared and released 22 pregnant sows for tracking and eventually captured their piglets and tagged them as well. Um, Out of 514 sows they captured for the study, 160 were pregnant at the time. 93 were lactating. Out of the 27 juvenile sows, 5 of them were pregnant.
No, there's just under 1 year of age. It says that's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, under 1 year of age. So it's like when we're talking about managing whitetail and managing, trying to grow habitat, like pigs are a problem, because they can destroy and really take a toll on the habitat that whitetail rely on. And one thing that that we've talked about before is how important habitat is for fawn production and fawn development. And does will compete and fight for that territory, to have their fawns in a certain area and kind of be a little territorial. And so when you have hogs or wild pigs that are destroying that competition becomes even more extreme. And another thing that's interesting is that coyotes are also a problem, and that they a lot of people assume that coyotes will help, but coyotes, and some more other research was done. Coyotes don't really even eat pigs. So
Really?
yeah, no, they don't really bother with it. I don't know if it's because they're the mature pigs are aggressive, or if it's just too much work. They prefer to go after other animals, including fawns. So whitetail really have a lot of things working against them in terms of habitat and predators, that we as hunters can help with. By targeting coyotes, making sure that we're taking out wild pigs where we can if they become too much of a problem.
That is wild. Yeah, reading through all these points. I mean, it's way too much to cover, but it's insane.
Yeah, this is certainly a PhD college level research stuff, but kind of hitting the high notes. Um,
So you should trap when sows are pregnant, when food is scarce.
yep.
Bottomlands, which we know. Capture the entire sounder. Targeting big sows.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep, and it later goes on to explain that through breeding for pigs and farming and things like that, and those pigs getting loose, we've kind of created this problem. We bred pigs to be very fertile so that we can farm them and have food. Those things have gotten loose and bred with wild pigs, and so now we have this kind of worst case scenario. I just thought it was interesting. It's cool to see that this kind of research is going on. But there's some YouTube stuff on catching pigs and stuff like that. It's pretty well put together article, and I recommend anybody go check out the stuff they have at National Deer Association. Their articles that they write, and like I said, the contributors are really knowledgeable, and they have some good stuff up here. Everything from land management to just deer science, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, we've always been huge supporters of it, and I get a lot of information from it. Sometimes I'll just peruse when I'm bored. But it's there's stuff on there like one article is how far can a deer swim?
Yep.
And it's like one story claimed that it was 8 to 10 miles. They rescued a deer 5 miles off the Maine coast. But they have GPS collared deer, and they find out that they can swim, pretty dang far, which is nuts considering
Yeah.
you wouldn't consider a deer to be like a water swimming animal.
Yeah. Well, if you talk to someone like down here, we have a huge system of rivers and small islands as you get close to the intercoastal and obviously the ocean. Um, Troy actually, he's a firefighter out in on John's Island, I think, or in Charleston proper. But he's talked about having pulled deer off the beach that have made it too far out and drowned. They've rescued deer from some of the islands and that have gotten stuck and just too tired up and down the river. They definitely swim.
Oh yeah. There's one that I'm looking at right here. It says it swam 18 miles down this river into a capture location, but they have them constantly swimming 5 miles from the banks of the Mississippi River. Like there's just one buck that they had on collar.
Oh yeah, oh, that's really fascinating too. That's another topic probably for another episode. But bucks being collared and watching their home range versus their like core range, versus how that changes whenever the rut happens. I know we've talked about it briefly on some other podcasts, but it's always fascinating to revisit because they travel a hell of a lot further than people give them credit for, especially during the rut.
Yeah, for sure. We've talked about it too in some of our Patreon classes, the deer steward classes and stuff.
Yep.
Which if you're interested in checking that out, we have a bunch of free classes on our Patreon for both whiskey and whitetails. And we can do more. It's just
it'll be a little easier now that we got these things set up for cameras and everything. It'll be easier to record those and get those things back up and going.
Start doing more YouTube content and like it'll be on us each to kind of make what we want to make, because it's like you said, it's really easy as long as you got stuff lined up and you can easily bring it over here. Like StreamYard makes it pretty simple, so
yeah,
we'll be able to put together some good content for YouTube, and we're gonna start doing some of the vlog style stuff. I'm gonna do some this weekend because I'll be in Kentucky doing bourbon stuff, so I'll try to film as much as possible.
I watched a video today, and it was on YouTube as a channel, and I was like, we should do something. We should do a twist on this for whiskey and whitetails. And it's like the guy's got like over 1 million subscribers, and that one video had like, I don't know, 200 and something thousand views. And I think in the 20 or 30-minute video, he might have spoken for 4 minutes of it. The rest of it is just a really sensitive microphone, kind of ASMR stuff, but it's him camping. And it's just him hiking through the woods, setting up his tent, cooking a meal, just all that kind of stuff, hanging out with his dog. And people apparently just eat it up, man. It's wild.
Well, I know a guy that camps a lot. He could be doing that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's going to be on the agenda. But yeah, that kind of stuff, more of that kind of stuff, I think we'll be getting into just for fun, because it's fun for us. If we're not having fun, what's the point of doing all this?
Well, yeah, it's fun, and we both like making videos and making content, and we live interesting lives separately. So it's the stuff that we do, people are going to find interest in it.
Yeah. You think you'll get into showing some of the BDSM stuff you're into?
Try to think of a good joke, but I don't know anything about it. So says a guy that would be into BDSM.
Yeah.
Is that the one where they beat you and stuff?
I don't know. I think that's just like a I don't know. That's like saying cooking for culinary. I think it's just a broad term for all that kind of stuff.
Bondage, discipline, sadism, and masochism. I don't even know what sadism
I didn't even know what that means.
It's the tendency to derive pleasure, especially sexual gratification from inflicting pain, suffering, or humiliation on others.
Well, this podcast took a turn.
I mean, this is the conversations that we have. We joke around and we learn something new. So now we know what that is.
Yeah. Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome if you didn't know. But I'm sure most of our listeners know exactly what that is. How's that birthday bourbon?
It's delicious. I'm about to pour some more because I'm almost done with it. And I had a pretty heavy pour. I started drinking before we got connected. So
nice. I had some Bella Gloss with dinner.
Oh, good choice, man. Which one did you get?
The Dairyman. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one for sure.
It's like buttery smooth.
Yeah, it's so fun story about that. I had that wine with Jessica and my dad the last time we went out to dinner together before he passed away. He took us out to Halls and had no idea what we were ordering. waitress actually recommended it, and it's been our favorite ever since.
How much was that bottle at Halls?
I don't want to talk about it.
It's because it's like $60 in the store.
Yeah, it was like it was like double that at Halls.
Well, that's not bad. I'd
No.
pay $120 for that in a restaurant.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. They get you everywhere else. Like
Yeah, for sure.
$50 for a family a family serving of sauteed mushrooms or whatever the fuck it was.
Dude, I had a cool experience at Bearcat Sunday. It's pretty sick. So they did a pop-up at Chasing Sage. For those who don't know, we did a whiskey pairing class with Bearcat, with George from Bearcat and Ray. And so they did a pop-up at Chasing Sage, like I said, downtown. So we went down there, and so they had put tickets online, and they sold out before I even knew that they were doing it. So I hit George up and I was like, dude, I missed it. I really wanted to come when I saw it. And I was like, but I tried to get a reservation. They're all gone. And he was like, so I'm gonna tell you what we did. We did 50 reservation spots, and then we kept about 20 on the side for friends.
Nice.
He's like, so if you want to come, he's like, come a little later, because most of the appointments were earlier.
Yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah, I'll come whenever. And so he's like, yeah, just show up at 8. So I got there at 8, and Ray was at the door, and he was like, hey, there's a bar next door. Go next door, get a beer, and then once I get a table for you, if somebody leaves, we'll throw you in there. So we went over there at like exactly one beer. Like I'm finishing the last sip of the beer, getting ready to order another one, and he goes, hey, we got a spot. So I come in there, and it's not a tasting menu, it's an actual menu. So like you order whatever, you can get one of everything or whatever. So we weren't that hungry, so we got like a couple plates, but I was like, I want, like, I'm looking for, like, because he's a sommelier, like a real wine somm.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to have like a nice Chardonnay, that's like buttery. I'm in a buttery wine mood. And he was like, well, this is the wine list, and it's got like 3 wines on it. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll just whichever one of those. And he goes, you know what? I got you. I'm gonna go get you a nice bottle from the back. And so he goes and gets us this bottle of wine and brings it out and pours Andy and I a glass. And I was like, dude, let me send shots to the kitchen. So like everybody, send everybody back their shots. And so he brought me a shot and everybody in a shot. And like, we kind of like looked through the window and cheers and while they're cooking. So we got our food and everything. He gave us another glass of wine. And then when he brought the bill, it was just for like the food that we ate. They didn't charge for any of the alcohol.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
And I was like, dude, well, I mean, which sucks is it actually makes it more expensive because if your bill is complete, you tip 20%, but if your bill's missing stuff, now you got to pay for, and I'm just guessing what that wine costs.
Right. Yeah.
So, but love it. Very fortunate to be able to do stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Good people. That's a kind of dining experience that not everybody gets to experience, man.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. It's
and the whole it's like sending shots or drinks back to the kitchen. I learned that from you. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah.
I've bought shots for bartenders. Like if I'm drinking, and gotten taken care of that way. Never considered doing it for a kitchen. If the staff back there, I guess maybe even if you don't know the staff and you're just in having a good time. I guess it also depends on like policy. Like you got to kind of know them a little bit so you don't get people in trouble. But
they won't get in trouble, especially in South Carolina. I mean, some states won't allow it, but it's some restaurateurs won't allow it either. But where I learned it was I went to, I don't remember the name of the restaurant. I don't remember where I went, but like on the bar menu, as one of their option was to send the kitchen a round of beers, and it was like $30. And I was like, well, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, let me send the kitchen a round of beers. And when you do that, they ring the bell in the back, and like nobody knows it was you. It's just
they're just getting little up. Yeah.
Yeah. But before you know it, like an extra dish will come out.
Yep.
So it's like, oh, right. So that's how that works. Like you take care of people and they take care of you.
Yeah. We did it when we went to that Christmas party at Miller's All Day.
Yeah.
And we had some, I think we just got like an appetizer or something because they had like a small menu for that night.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some drinks, and I think we got a couple of things to eat. And then we sent a couple rounds to the kitchen, and then they started sending out more food to try this. You got to try that. And then Jeff came out and just like, what's up? Here's some stuff. And yeah, it was cool, man.
I'll tell you, life advice for people that want to hear it. Get to know some chefs because like they will change your world. If you like to eat out, if you're the kind of person who like to eat out, which I get a lot of people like that, but if you like to eat out, being kind to the chef and the wait staff. I mean, for them to allow you to come back there while they're busy is like level 10. Like I've only achieved that one time. Usually it's like, it's too chaotic back here. Nobody come back here. But there's been times where they're like, come on back, come see, witness firsthand.
Yeah.
I told Andy, I was like, dude, if I hadn't joined the Army, I think I would have become a chef or something. That's like,
it seems like a lot of work, a lot of thankless work, but it looks like fun.
Yeah. And they all run their kitchen a little different. Like some of the more fancy restaurants, I mean, they're super strict about it. Like no music during prep. And they treat you like basic training. Like, what are you guys talking about? You know what? Never mind. Everybody put everything down. Let's go sit out in the dining room and have dinner together. And then people are like, oh, cool. And you take them out there and you sit them down. And it's like, all right, so you guys wanted to talk. What are we talking about? What is there to talk about right now? Are we at work or are we hanging out? We're having a good time. Let's hang out and have a good time. Or do you guys want to go back to work? And it's like, oh, I get it. This is supposed to be serious because the way they look at it is like, if you're perfecting your craft, you're trying to do the best you can. If you're distracted and joking around, you're not putting 100% of your effort into your food.
Yeah.
And so restaurants like that are just another level.
Yeah, that's wild. There's an episode that we did with Bearcat, and if most listeners probably didn't pick up on it, and I didn't either until you explained it. But there's a moment where a joke happens, and then a correction is made.
Yeah, he was talking about beef tendons.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They fry them to make them like chicharrones.
Mm-hmm.
And Ray was like, yeah, pretty much you take the beef tendon and like there's a couple steps, but you just fry them and they pop up like pig skins. And he goes, no, that's not how you do it. And then Ray goes, yes, chef. And just stopped. And like just listening, you would think it's a joke, but being in the room, you could see him being like, snap to attention. Roger that, first sergeant. Like,
yeah, he's kind of shut up. Like,
yeah.
Shut up now.
Because there was a lot of steps to it. Like they had to like massage it to a flat piece and then freeze it flat. And I mean, there's a ton of work.
I imagine, and to get a tendon to be
pork skin.
Yeah. To go from that texture to that would take more than just a few steps.
Yeah.
Just dropping it in hot oil is just going to make it worse if you don't do that first.
He said they'll explode.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of moisture trapped inside.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So you got to kind of like dehydrate it without dehydrating it.
Yeah.
It's basically the process, but I'm going to close this BDSM window.
So you're flying up to Kentucky for the barrel picks this weekend, right?
Yep.
Any change of plans? Just doing the same stuff you talked about previously?
No, I don't think so. Friday, so my boss was telling me that they flew to Texas last Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And so their flight left at like 6:45 or something. They boarded at 6:45. So they got there at 5. And the TSA line in the Charleston airport like went through the squiggly lines, past the check-in counters, all the way to baggage claim.
What?
He said it was an hour and a half and they missed their flight.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, I've never waited longer than like 30 minutes to get through that.
Me neither. But that's the way it was. And I was telling my neighbor Tyler about it. And he was like, dude, I was there. I got there at 5. And he was like, I didn't get to my gate until 6:30.
Holy shit.
Yeah, which is crazy. So we got an email today for our flight that said, make sure you're there 2 hours early because TSA has been having problems lately. I guess there's just that many people here. Everybody's leaving or flying out after vacation. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that or they're being extra, I don't know, extra careful because there's something we don't know about.
Could be. That's the tinfoil hat. I need to make a tinfoil hat to put on.
We should make tinfoil hats.
Thought I had a button for tinfoil hats, but I may not.
I have to find an outtake from a movie that's like that, something from that, like the cone heads. With the cone heads were like, eh.
yeah, or the Mars attacks.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, but no, so I'm not gonna get there early because I have TSA pre-check, but they're all gonna get there probably like 4:30.
Yeah,
roll in at 6 like a G and just walk through TSA pre-check.
Yeah, make the pores, wait in line.
yeah. Can you buy? Is that a money thing? Can you buy TSA pre-check? I thought it was just because I work for the government.
No, it's like I think it's like $80. Yeah, it's like $80 for like 5 years.
Oh, really?
3
but
years.
Anyone can get it.
Yeah, as long as you pass you got to show your ID and pass like a little background check. I think is all it is.
Huh.
And then once you have that, you can go a step further, and for like $120 a year, you can pay for clear.
Yeah.
And if TSA is full, you can get by them even faster.
Do they have clear at Charleston? I think it's just
don't
big
think
airports.
they do. I think it's mostly just the big airports, and there's one other one that's called something different because they try to sell it to me every time I go
Yeah,
these things.
I've seen it in DC. I don't think I've ever seen it here.
Yeah, I if I was still traveling as much as I was a few years ago, I probably would pay for it just because it's worth not having to deal with all of it. But I mean,
100%.
yeah, I still keep my TSA pre-check, just even if I only
I do
travel
too.
once a year, it's worth it.
Yeah, Caleb booked the flights, and I was like, I just need the flight information so I can call him. But Breeze doesn't have a call number. You have to email him.
Mm.
So I emailed him, and of course, no response. So I added it to my bio, and then when I checked in this morning, it asked for my KTN number. So I put that in there, and
Yeah,
my ticket has pre-check on it. So
nice.
but yeah, first BIC is tomorrow morning at I think 11 a.m. something like that.
Oh man, getting right to it, huh?
Yeah, right to it. And then we're free. We fuck off the rest of the day on Friday. Saturday we're going to Lexington, meeting up with Rocco at Justin's House of Bourbon. So I didn't know this, but I guess they had gone to a medicinal whiskey event last year, like their charity ball. And Justin's House of Bourbon had a private tasting in the speakeasy there.
Okay.
And it went for $3,000. So
the tasting did?
Yeah. I don't know what kind of tasting it is. It's probably vintage whiskeys.
Well, I'd imagine so.
So we're doing that Saturday at 11:30, which is going to be dope.
Cool.
No other plans Saturday, and then Sunday we're going to Bardstown. They're doing lunch for us and a tour. Get to see the library, and we probably hit up. If anything else, I don't. Most places aren't open on Sunday, so I don't. Or maybe it's Mondays. I don't know. And then we have that Russell's Reserve pick Monday morning, and then flying back Monday night. So it'll be a busy weekend.
Yeah, it will be a busy weekend. I'm supposed to go camping again this weekend, but told Gavin, I was like, Gavin, do you really want to go this weekend? He was like, it's 4 hours away. Man. I was like, okay, let's just stay home this weekend. So we're staying home and getting caught up on stuff around the house. So try to be productive this weekend.
Nice.
But yeah, it should be good. I gotta get online or on the spreadsheet and pick some days this month to do the market and try to hit our minimum so we can hit tents on holidays. It wasn't very good this last week, but it is what it is.
I think it's just the economy, man. I think everybody's kind of because I know a bunch of business owners and other than restaurants, they're booming, but
yep.
I think just people are holding on to money a little tighter.
What's funny is some of the vendors were like, have you noticed that your more expensive stuff is selling more? And I was like, well, yeah, actually, I said our cocktail smokers and our more affordable things haven't been selling as much. I said, but we're selling the hell out of our game calls all the time.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's weird. He said, I've been selling a lot more of my higher end paintings. I'm thinking about bringing some of my even higher end paintings because I think they would do well. I was like, I'll tell you what I think it is. I said, I think your average Joe who would normally maybe come to Charleston on a vacation, I don't think that they are coming on vacation to Charleston and spending money. I said, but those folks who have money and are coming to Charleston, they're here and they're spending money. And those are the people, the patrons that are coming to the market more.
I'm sick and tired of ordinary people being fleeced.
You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah. The ordinary people. I'm sick and tired. Did you see him bust his ass?
Being fleeced, Joe.
Did you see him bust his ass on the stage?
That was he fell again.
Oh yeah, he was at the Air Force Academy graduation and ate shit as he walked away from the podium. I'm talking fell all the way down, like on his side, like life alert, like falling and I can't get up. and if you watch it, like there's a general that's sitting in the row right behind him, and he doesn't make a move.
I wouldn't either
because like one smirk and your career's done. Like he must have been like thinking about. I don't know what he's thinking. There were 100% some cadets in the back that you could see like their those big hats they wear go straight down, like looking down at the program, trying not to laugh. Yeah. It was pretty funny.
Well, I mean, it's just the state of the world that we're in, man.
I feel bad for this, like the Secret Service agents, because they got to do their job regardless of who's in the position, and like their job has now become like babysitters.
Yeah, it's exactly what they are, babysitters. Dude, it's It's crazy to watch the decline of that man. It's gotten. I mean, we've all watched old people get old, and I mean, he is getting old.
It's at this point, it's almost abuse. Like, right? Like, it wouldn't. I mean, if it was any other job in any other position, it would be considered abuse.
Well, it's like I like that the thing that's been going around where it's like, at work, people won't hire somebody that's 70, 80 years old because they're old as shit and they're not going to work well and they're going to be sick and tired all the time.
Mental
Yet those are the people that exclusively run our country.
Yep, it is. It is.
Well,
Here's Johnny.
I got to update my soundboard. I don't think I have anything good. You heading out and hanging out with those
Bourbon personalities
this weekend, but
you try to avoid them, but it's not my bag, baby.
That's what they say. That's what they always say before, and then right before they become one of them.
No thanks. I could be a hunter. I'm not even that. I'm no personality. I'm just me.
Just me.
Just a guy. What's that? How does that go? I'm just a dude.
I'm just a dude. I'm just like a dude dressed as a dude pretending to be another dude.
Yeah. That's me. Yeah. No. Not for me. This I haven't had this single barrel in quite some time. So it's a Forsberg's Buffalo Trace single barrel.
Buffalo Trace, yeah. That's not the one that was in the studio, was it?
It is.
The one that's got like that spearmint to it. Yeah, that's a good.
Haven't had it in a hot minute.
It's solid.
I've been trying to get through everything that we had in there because most of it was like pretty much empty.
Yeah.
So I've been killing a ton of bottles.
Well, it's healthy. It's good for your liver.
My liver's been great, man. Testosterone fixed it.
It'll do a lot of things, won't it?
It's just crazy. Like, I mean, it's nuts. For those that don't know, I had liver problems since they found it in 2016. It's now 2023. So I've done everything from, remember I was juicing all the time, like beet juice and gross shit I was drinking, trying to cure it. And
yeah, I mean, you may not say it, but I'll say it. I mean, we had conversations where you were like, I think I might have cancer. I'm going to die. And those are some shitty conversations to have.
Oh, that's what the doctor was saying. He was like, it's scarred so bad. He was like, you're going to get cancer and all that scarring. And they were like 6 years max,
Mm-hmm.
And like, I wouldn't tell anybody cause I don't want that fake,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Treated differently.
How you doing, man? Are you doing okay? Is everything all right? Like, yeah, I'm fucking fine. Let me alone. But I read a study that in England, they were using testosterone to cure people with cirrhosis of the liver and like hepatitis damage.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have hepatitis, just to put that out there. Not that it matters. I have sex with one woman. Is that maybe? You're a serial fornicator, a bad Santa. Anyway,
bad Santa, yeah.
Yeah, I read a study that the testosterone cured some of these people, and they had like a control group and like a placebo group. The placebo group, nobody got better, and the control group, it was like 80%.
Yeah.
So I told my doctor about it, and he was like, "That's not approved in the U.S. It has to be approved. We're not going to do it." And I was like, "Okay." So I went and got my testosterone checked, and it was low. So I got on tea. And it cured my liver. It also made me less sleepy. I mean, we've discussed it before, how much it's helped us, but
yeah, for sure.
My liver is completely normal normal ranges.
Really? Wow. Everything is.
Yeah. They're like my AST, ALTs are 40, 60.
It's awesome.
And they were like 2 something for years.
Yeah. I told you my brother-in-law went to the same place that I went, and like his number was like 24.
What?
27. Yeah.
The firefighter brother-in-law?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like the doctor was like, I'm surprised you didn't have any sort of like trauma as a kid, to your body or like reproductive, and that you had like a normal like puberty. Like, this is really like, he's like, I'm surprised you were even able to have kids. And they gave him, before he left the office that day, they gave him 200 milligrams in the office. And then he's taking 100 milligrams 3 times a week.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I asked him like the other day, I was like, dude, so how do you feel? He's like, he's like, he didn't know where to start. And I was like, sleeping better. He was like, he started, like didn't know what to say. And I was like, getting up earlier. And I just started, he was like, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big, like, you're going to be a new person. I said, it'll be a little while until it levels out and you'll feel even better.
Yeah. we've gotten a few friends on it, and they all say the same exact thing. Like, I feel like $1,000, $1 million, maybe. I don't know what $1 million feels like, but I feel like I have thousands of dollars. I have at least $2,000. I feel like I have at least $2,000 in the bank, and like energy. I can sleep pretty good. Like 3:30 has become my new. I go back to sleep and it screws me up. I'm just gonna start getting up.
Yeah, I've done the same thing the past few, the last week or so, where it's like 4 o'clock has rolled around. And it's like, I really don't have to get up right now. So I try to go back to sleep and it just makes it worse.
It does. I'm gonna start just getting up. I'm gonna be a 3:30 kind of guy because I figure if I get up at 3:30, I could get up and like I've wanted to start stretching. Just 'cause I'm in my late 30s now, so like stretch a little bit, and then my gym opens at 5.
Yeah.
So like 3:30, stretch for a little bit, maybe like try and read a book. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do from 3:30 to 5, but like to be standing at the front door of the gym at 5 a.m. That sounds fun.
The guy, Rob, was it Rob Durstick or whoever from Rob and Big, the guy that skater and has all the
Rob Deerdeck?
Yeah. He was talking about how he started waking up an hour earlier, and he did it because he realized like he was getting plenty of sleep. You know, he was just sleeping in because he could. So he started getting up earlier and then earlier. And what he realized, and he's start thinking about it, was like, if you just go with 1 hour earlier a week, like that's 7 days, that's 7 hours.
Yeah.
A week. Actually, it's essentially a work day.
Yeah.
So you do that every week. That's 52 weeks. That's 52 extra work days that you get to put into whatever it is you're putting work into.
Yeah.
That's that alone, if you're disciplined about it, puts you ahead of everybody. If you're using it properly, right? Even if it's just to get the workout in so that you don't have to do it in the afternoon or whatever. But we only got so much time on this planet. So
I thought about our like the slick sheets that we sent out. Like I could get up and just send like 5 a day.
Yeah.
Every day I just get up and I pick 5 places and send 5 slick sheets out and just see if the business. I bet you it'll grow.
Yeah.
Like for our tastings and stuff.
Yeah, I got to finish going through this email list and doing this podcast guest thing so we can get on some podcasts as a guest, so we can get this thing growing too. It's this first whatever it is 5 months of this year has been really weird, and
it's flown by.
It's flown by. It's been stupid busy, but oddly enough, school's finishing, so I'll have a little more free time to do some things and hopefully get the ball rolling on this stuff. Not hopefully, we don't have a choice.
Yeah. I mean, everything's going good. You can always grow more.
Yeah, there's always more to do. So,
and now that we've kind of like balanced out the workload and everything, and not having that studio is really nice.
Yeah, it is nice because it's as nice as it was. Like for me and you, like it's a drive in, it's a drive back. So it was a time suck more than anything. So,
you know who called me the day after I posted that reel of us closing down the studio? Eric.
Really?
Yeah. The creative studios guy.
Yeah.
He called and was like, "Did you get out, or did they hammer you?" I was like, "No, they had somebody that wanted our spot, so we were able to get out pretty slick."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Dude, next thing you do is get a virtual office." And he was like, "There's one in Park Circle." And I was like, "I already did it." It's like $58 a month or something. It's stupid cheap.
Yeah.
And he was like, "That's awesome, man. Let me know anything you guys need. Let me know anything."
That's cool, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a good dude.
Yeah, we've met a lot of cool people in this journey. That's for sure.
No doubt.
That's one thing. Like you always hear people say stuff like, if nobody will talk down on you that's doing better than you. It's always the people that aren't like on your level or whatever.
Yep.
And that's so true, man, because we've met so many businesses, and like there's people that just, we don't vibe or whatever, and that's fine. But for the most part, like everybody on this journey has just been so friendly and giving and want to support. And like we're the same way. People reach out to us for advice all the time. We're always like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know how we can help. We've walked this trail for 3 years now. If you're trying to get something started, get a website going, a podcast going, trying to get something going, just let us know. We're we'll help you.
Open book. Happy to help anybody that needs it. I've people have been sent our way on how do I start a podcast? What do I need? What kind of gear do I need? Where I'm happy. I love this stuff. I love, professional audio and sound. I've been doing it since I was in high school. So I'm always happy to talk gear and learn new things about it. Like there's so much I don't know. It's fun to help other people and figure out stuff too. So
For sure. And I've been making videos since high school, which is funny. Like, you remember the video I made before I left for the Army? Like,
Yeah.
what did I don't even know what I used to make that. I don't think Premiere existed. back then. I don't even know what I used. I was making videos back then, though.
probably like Windows Movie Maker or something.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's wild.
I did it for Andy, too. For there's 8 weeks, or how long's basic training? 12 weeks? I don't remember. But for every week, I made her a video to watch every week.
Yeah.
And kind of told her my favorite, like a good poem or a quote or something.
Yeah.
And I forgot about all that too. I don't even know how I made that. Probably was Windows Movie Maker.
The video you made, are you talking about the one you did was like a joke video on the Volkswagen scene?
Yeah.
That was funny.
It was called BHC Inside Edition. I just pulled it up to check it. How many people have seen it? Let me look. 707 views, published 11 years ago.
Nice.
Should play that.
You're rocking hard at like 7 views a year or 70 views a year.
I never shared it, so it's
that right?
I don't know how people found it.
I don't math.
11 years ago, there's a comment that says LOL.
Nice. You should comment back. That's good engagement, man.
Yeah, it's true.
Don't waste it.
I would play it, but I don't think anybody would get it.
Probably not.
Yeah,
you had to explain. We had to explain most of it to me. So
yeah, it's pretty in the woods.
Inside jokes.
Yeah. Sick. All right. Well, I'm gonna go sit on the couch for a little bit and hang out with the wife before going to bed and getting up early.
Sounds good, man.
Cool. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
You can use code podcast, save 20% on everything on our site.
That's right.
We're also gonna do it'll be 20%, but we're gonna do a post. It'll probably already be out actually by the time this podcast comes out, but I want to post that. Got a video of the cocktail smoker, and I'm going to say no messy chips, no metal dish strainer blowing metal into your drink, just pure untreated bourbon American white oak and a torch. Use this code to get 20% off.
Yeah.
And post that up probably tomorrow. Probably.
Push that through Father's Day. Maybe some other promos for Father's Day coming up.
Yeah. We just got to make them. We also don't spam people on email. So if you want to sign up on our email, you'll get like 3 emails a year, maybe. Yeah,
that's probably my fault. I should send more emails, but I don't want to be annoying either. So
I don't either, because people will dip out. But we have our customer base is massive. I tried to look it up the other day, and I think we've sold like over 5,000 smoker kits at this point.
Yeah.
You can't really figure it out because it's cash deals and
yeah, you have market sales and cash, and then holiday stuff comes through. It's tough to keep track of, but for sure,
definitely it's probably over 5. Like I got to like 4,800 and was like, all right, I'm done looking.
That's wild, pretty crazy.
All right, well, thanks everybody for watching, for listening. However you consume this podcast, please leave us a 5-star review and a comment in that review. It's very easy to do, and it helps us out a lot. And share it on YouTube. Just click that thumbs up button. Give us a like. Share it maybe to somebody you think they would like it or wants to learn more. That's all I got.
All right, man. Sounds good. See you.
Bye.